Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to have a look at the most valuable, most expensive, phrase it how you will, cards from White Flare and Black Bolt. The set is finally now out in Japan. We've been talking about it for a few weeks. I've been telling you every single thing you need to know about the set, the cards as they are revealed, and everything else. But now that the set's actually out, it's time to talk about the cards that people want the most. Now, starting off, spare a thought for the special illustration rares that did not make the list here, and that is Keldeo, the cheapest of the special illustration rares, and then Whimsicott, Jellicent, and Superior in that order. Superior had a decent go, got close, well, got within 20% of a 10. So yeah, Superior got pretty close. Jellicent got pretty close. I'm going to be honest with you, Whimsicott and Keldeo didn't even get that close. But those are the special illustration rares that you don't want to pull from this set. You open these and you're like, hang on a second, I hit a special illustration rare and it's worth less than the box, which is what these four have in common. Yes, don't do that. And actually, I should just jump in quickly here. There's a couple special illustration rares here, including Bouffalont and Excadrill, that are so far away from the top 10 list, I actually forgot to put them in the special illustration rares that didn't quite make the list. You know, Excadrill is behind a bunch of illustration rares, as is Bouffalont, to be fair. But as I'm looking at it this morning, I count at least a dozen illustration rares that are above the Excadrill special illustration rare. But having said that, it's Mitsuhiro Arita artwork and I love Excadrill, so I think I'm going to be okay with this. Pick it up nice and cheap. Maybe get 10 of them. So in at number 10, we've got ourselves a special illustration rare of Genesect. And you should know that actually special illustration rares are dominating this list. There are a couple of exceptions that are not special illustration rares. See if you can guess what those are going to be. It is a special illustration rare heavy list. Nothing we can do about it. That's just where we are. So we start off with Genesect here. And this is from Black Bolt. And it comes in at about 6,000 yen. So we're talking just a tiny little smidge above what we see the price of a box. And 6,000 yen is basically $42. Just, it's really 41.50, but I like to round to the nearest dollar, so we'll call it $42. That'll do for now. It's 41.51 if you want to be a pedant. And the Genesect here has actually got a really nice ability. It's the one with the ability whereby you can just go and search out a couple of evolution metal Pokemon from your deck. Which, incidentally, clearly a redonkulous ability. Plus, it's Genesect, who's a special Pokemon and a pretty popular Pokemon. And you add all of that up together and you end up with, frankly, a pretty popular card. In at number 9, we've got the special illustration rare of Hydreigon. And this is coming in just a tad higher at 6,500 yen, which is pretty much, let's call it $45. In fact, that is actually all but exactly $45. And this is just phenomenal artwork-wise. What Takumi Wada has done with the artwork here is just absolutely absurd. And yeah, that for me is the big thing here. I'm not looking at Hydreigon as this kind of powerhouse card, which is going to transform the metagame. I think Hydreigon is fine, but I don't think it's particularly awesome. But the artwork here and the fact that it's by Takumi Wada, that's my explanation here as to why this one is so high. In at number 8, we've got the Meloetta. We've got a small jump here up to 8,000 yen, which is $55. And this is a special illustration rare that artistically is just not doing it for me. But I think playability-wise, it might. By the way, I never actually told you, Hydreigon's got an ability whereby it takes an extra prize off a basic Pokemon. It's also got an attack which is really expensive. Maybe I didn't give Hydreigon enough love. Let me correct that now. But Meloetta It can attack turn 1 going first and do 30 damage, and we know there's a bunch of 30 HP Pokemon rolling around. Plus, of course, it can use things like Technical Machines, and the attack, if you've used it the previous turn, does 110 rather than 30. And yeah, I think this Meloetta is cool. That's also from Black Bolt, I should say. And then in at number 7, we've got the Kyurem Special Illustration Rare, also from Black Bolt, also at 8,000 yen. At the moment, Kyurem is trending just a teensy bit higher than Meloetta, but I think Meloetta is a better card playability-wise, but then I think probably Kyurem's a bit more popular, so we'll see how this one shakes out. Best thing about this one, free energy 130, and it does 10 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon for each prize card they've taken. So if they've taken like 4 prizes, it's 40 to everything. I don't think this is as good a card as Meloetta, but, you know, seems to be trending just a tiny bit higher. Now, I want you to remember for the time being that out of the bottom 4, Black Bolt is 3 of them. 3 of the 4 here are Black Bolt, because we're about to see a huge jump. And from here on, we got 3 pairs of cards. So we got 3 White Flare and 3 Black Bolt. So in at number 6, we've got the Special Illustration Rare of Hilda, coming in at 22,000 yen. Yeah, there is a huge jump between 7 and 6 here. 22,000 yen. We're talking $152. And essentially here, we've got the smaller Special Illustration Rares, which are the bottom 4 cards, and then we get big up the top here. And Hilda, to be fair, you go and grab yourself an Evolution Pokemon and an Energy from your deck, show them to your opponent, pop them into your hand. It's not a bad card, but we've also got the artwork with all the other Pokemon in here, and that's kind of your explanation. And then very close to that, in at number 5, we got the Special Illustration Rare Revenge Plot, coming in at 24,000 yen, or $166. And essentially, this is just, obviously, N is from Black Bolt and Hilda's from White Flare. You can see I'm actually putting the packs on the screen as we go. And the thing about N's plot is, this was always going to be higher. People adore N. As for the card, you just move 2 energy from your bench Pokemon to your active. It's cool enough card. I think it'll see a bit of play here and there. This is Ren's first supporter, and I do think they've knocked it out the park. But this is where the list is kind of interesting, because we had the bottom 4 that we are general Special Illustration Rares. We've seen the 2 supporters here very close together, but now we see a big jump up to number 4, the Zekrom Special Illustration Rare, coming in at 32,000 yen. Which is $221. Yeah, we've done a jump, ladies and gentlemen. We've done a jump. And the top 6 is literally just 3 pairs of cards with a big gap in between. So the Zekrom here, the Special Illustration Rare, absolutely stunning card. It's got free energy, 130 plus 50 for each prize card your opponent's taken, and then 30 to yourself. I love this one. I think the art is absolutely spectacular, and I think Zekrom playability-wise is better than Reshiram. But Reshiram comes in at number 3 here at 35,000 yen. Again, we're working in pairs, so there's not much of a jump here, and this is $242. Cool. This is very nice. Now, I don't like it as much as a Zekrom artistically or in terms of playability, but you look at this card and you just know a lot of people are going to adore it. And Kawaiu's been doing great artwork in the Pokemon TCG for a long time now. This is awesome. Very similar to Zekrom, except the attack discards an energy from itself rather than self-damages. But I don't think it's as easy to get the energy attached to it, which is why I prefer Zekrom. And then we see another big jump up to 50,000 yen for the Zekrom Black and White Rare. 50,000 yen is $345. And these are phenomenal. Now, I still think people might prefer the Special Illustration Rare. Time will tell. But right now, you know, the Special Illustration Rare Zekrom is 32k, and the Black and White Zekrom is 50k. So it's not that close. Not that close at all. So then, obviously, in at number 1, we got the Reshiram Black and White Rare, which comes in at 55,000 yen, which is $380. And for anyone following along, that means Reshiram has the most expensive special illustration rare and the most expensive black and white rare. So in that regard, you would think, well, White Flare is the better set value-wise. But then remember, when it comes to End's Plot and Hilda, End's Plot wins, only by a tiny bit, but still. And then as you get to the lower end, 3/4 of them are Black Bolt. So I don't think it's that definitive. I mean, essentially, White Flare has got the trio of Reshiram Black and White Rare, Reshiram Special Illustration Rare, and Hilda. And Black Bolt's got the trio of both of the Zekrom and End's Plot. There's really not a huge amount in them. All three of those pairs are quite close together. And then at the bottom end, it is predominantly Black Bolt. Essentially, the non-Reshiram Zekrom stuff, Black Bolt tends to be a bit higher. But two of the three pairs, we do see White Flare being a bit higher again. The point is, there's no real definitive answer here as to which of these two sets is actually way better. And really, you should just go for the one where you actually like the look of the cards a little bit more. There we go. That's what you need to know. That's your top 10. Those are the best cards. And now it's over to you guys. Tell me whether you think these prices are going to hold. Tell me what your favourite ones from the set are. Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And get shoutouts on the channel like the lovely Uncle Pokepeter, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and seems to be a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.